Just finished watching a video from Arnold Schwarzenegger earlier this morning, talking about his five keys to success that he had gone through and he had stuck to through his whole process of going from living as a child in Austria to becoming a huge movie star in the U.S. And one of the key things that he had mentioned, which was the last point, was about working hard. Work your butt off for whatever it is that you want. Nothing is going to be given to you, and while the universe, God, creation will help you in the process, you still have to create waves. You still have to say, this is what I want to do, and then start taking the actions towards doing that. Then, as long as you keep doing it, you're constantly feeding this little bit amount of energy. It's like when you first start, it's like, okay, this is what I want to do, right? Pie in the sky goals. So what you're doing at this point is you're basically planting a seed, right? So imagine putting a seed in the ground and you're covering it up with dirt. It doesn't stop there, you know? If you just leave that seed there, eventually it's just going to, it's going to die. It's going to atrophy. So what you want to do is you want to water that seed. So every single day, what am I doing in this moment to be able to help bring me closer towards those goals, right? And that's what they consider, watering your seed. And every day, just do a little bit more, a little bit more. And over time, you'll start to get into a groove. It's like, start off with the simple idea of this is what I want to do. Okay, what is one thing I can do in this day to help put me in that direction? And keep doing that every day. From there, you will naturally start to expand on it as you start to outgrow it. So don't look for, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. Just start at one place and just keep doing that over and over until you naturally start to expand. And that'll come as, oh, this sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should do this, or maybe I should do this. Then go with it. But don't forcefully say, okay, this is where I'm starting, this is what I need to do, this, and that. Forget about it, okay? A to Z, you're just focus on what you're at right now. So one of the biggest hurdles that I used to go through was not having enough time to do things. And I know everybody feels the exact same way. It's like we spend 9 hours a day at work, spend 8 hours a day sleeping if we're lucky, and that doesn't even take into consideration family obligations, other duties, and so on and so forth. So time is always a consideration for everyone. So rather than looking at it as not having enough of it, start finding out where you can actually get more of it. There's a lot of time in our day that we use doing useless things that aren't helping us towards our goals. We create these hobbies in order to shift our awareness from our day-to-day environment so that way we can be happy. But if we apply that same energy towards accomplishing goals that will put us in direct alignment in everything that we do with our work, our charities, our all of our outward expressions, then it's no longer work anymore. So make that the goal and do it by planting those seeds and watering it. Now, in regards to not having enough time in the day, right? I am grateful and fortunate that I was given an opportunity where I could work from home. One of the drawbacks from it is I don't get a whole lot of people time. I don't really get to go out there and spend a lot of time with people. At the same time, that's also a benefit because it allows me more opportunities to focus on things. So in the past, while I was working, I'd find something else to get involved in when I took my breaks, or whenever things were slow or whatever. It's like, I do some reading, I do this or do that. This is time that I was giving up throughout the day to just do other things, right? To just, I want to say waste time, but not applying it towards what I truly want to do. So this morning, when I was meditating, it happened yesterday as well too, I kept getting this feeling that I need to go beyond just using the evenings to go and practice music, because the way everything was set up is my work environment's out here, the piano and microphone and all the audio gear was in the other room. So it was definitely a big segregation there. But it prevented me from really being able to utilize time throughout the day to do this, because it was like I would literally have to get up, leave this room, couldn't monitor anything that was going on over here. So it wasn't the most efficient thing to do. So I started practicing singing out here while I was working about a week or two ago, and that started to help me. You know, that planted the seed that said, okay, I'm not going to use this idea that I don't have enough time to slow me down. Because I mean, if we really think about it, anytime we put ourselves in the mindset that we don't have enough of something, what we're not doing is we're not looking for where can we get more of it. So immediately it's like, okay, I realize I have time constraints. How can I practice singing while I work? And then that manifested about a week or two ago. Now it's like, okay, let's take this a little bit further. And it's just a natural, process of evolution. So now, while I'm working, when I get my breaks or whenever I have time in between, I can easily come right here to the piano and start practicing singing and practicing the piano at the same time. And again, this is still watering that same seed that we planted. And just basically continue doing this over and over and over until something else happens, right? We're investing more and more energy from one to another. And when we think about it, we only have 100% of our energy to work with. So what we do throughout that day is dividing up that 100%. Okay, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And what we want to do is basically evaluate that and find out okay, I have a lot of things going on throughout the day. What do I normally do? Yada, 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 make a list. How much of my day do I apply to this? Yada, 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 continue. Then, what here is necessary and is actually helping me towards my goals? Because if it's not, then what's the point of doing it, right? So, start finding ways to start shifting the pendulum, shifting your energy more away from the things that you no longer want to invest and create, and putting it more into the things that you do want to invest and create. And just keep doing that, Don't let anything stop you. My biggest hindrance was always, well, there's actually quite a few of them, but in this case, let's just say if I was told that something was put in my way to block me, to prevent me from doing it, and it's probably being done just to help me, I would look at that now as the only way it's helping me is by teaching me that to move beyond this and to go further and to escalate what it is that I'd like to do, I'm going to need to learn to overcome these types of situations, or else in the future it's going to be a bigger hindrance. So if every time I encountered a wall and say, well, I'm not supposed to do that, I'm prevented from that, well, then I'm never going to step over that wall. And if you look at anyone that is successful in what they do, one of the things that they will say is that you cannot take no for an answer. You have to look to it as, I'm going to do it regardless. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do, and nothing's going to stop me. And you have to have that attitude through everything. God is not going to stop you from doing anything. We create our own walls and our own limitations. The Creator is there to say, hey, pick what you would like to do, and I'm going to help you do it, regardless of what it is. You can use it to help benefit people, or you can use it to destroy people and take advantage of people. You're going to get the opportunity, but the repercussions of one over the other is going to be a different experience. So always keep that in mind. Always work from a perspective of compassion, right? Forget about what I can do for me. What can I do to help others? and then refine your skills and your talents so that way they can actually be beneficial for helping others. So with that, I'm going to get back to work and continue practicing. So thank you.